Pull up, I'ma text you the address. We're chillin', it's just a little kickback. Chillin' out, maxin', relaxin'. Summertime with a fantastic kickback.
So like these portraits, these are fine ground oil paint. The thing about oil paint and enamel paint is they're compatible. So sometimes what I'll do is if I have a inferior grade enamel paint, I can fortify or strengthen the pigment by adding fine ground oil. Because this is just basically pure pigment with linseed oil. And linseed oil is also an additive of the enamel paint. And so as you can see, like the enamel, I don't need to cover it because it scabs over. And it just like makes a thin little layer, and that seals the rest of the paint in, so I don't have to cover it. And if you look at the fine ground oil, when it scabs over, it doesn't really scab over. What happens is the linseed oil just kind of creates like this bubble effect at the top of it, and that tells you that it's like pure, right? So the reason why that creates like a smooth, perfect scab is because there's synthetic chemicals in there that do that, where this doesn't have chemicals, so the linseed oil just separates and goes to the top, and that's how you know the difference between like fine ground oil and synthetic oil, which is also called enamel. The good thing about enamel is because it has all the chemicals in it, that's what makes it super strong and impervious to weather and UV degradation. So that's why outdoor murals really prefer the enamel, because all the colors stay for a really long time. The sun, the water, pollution, it doesn't really degrade it. And then over here is where I like mix everything and mix paint. And if you need extra credit, you should bring steel cans. If you bring in steel soup cans or these kinds of cans, give you extra credit, because we're gonna need a ton of these, because this is what you mix the oil in. Why don't you think I could just mix in plastic cups? Any ideas? Yeah, so because the enamel has chemicals in it and it'll eat through the plastic cups. So that's why I have to have this. That's a good question. Does anyone know why would they call it bulletin enamel? What is a bulletin? What's that? Yeah, so this goes in the history of outdoor advertising. So they were called, the first type of advertising in public space was they were called bulletins. And this is before they had billboards, because advertising has been a big business for a really long time. And so they used to make signs and bulletins by artisans who would hand paint those signs. So that's why they call it bulletins. And so it's made for outdoor advertising, signs. This goes back into on the wall. It's mostly like a gigantic paint by numbers. And next week, every group will have like a kit. You'll have a painting kit. You'll have like a box with your colors for your section. Every group will have something like this, which will be like a color map, so you know where to go. The difference is this year's design is much more detailed and complicated than this. So we're going to show you those designs, and today everyone in the group will have a black and white version of your design. And some of you will be like, oh, making sure that's all in order. And so the way I've done this, and I'll just use, so this is the noodle world wall. And Each wall is 16 feet wide by 10 feet tall. And this wall doesn't go to 16 feet. So I split the 16 feet in half to make 2 columns. So how long is this pattern? 8. So 16 divided by 2 is 8. Okay? So for example, this is going to be A column. This is not A column because this is the right side of the mural, and so this is the B column, and that says B3. And so the start of each column, well, how many pieces of butcher paper do you think it takes to go vertically? And so there's grids all around. You can like start counting squares to figure it out. Translated right, or some lines are kind of wonky. No problem. Now is the day to do it. I have 1 charcoal pencil, I have 1 ruler or yardstick, and you can like redesign and like maybe 1 person is on. But I think everyone is starting to look good. You guys are doing a really good job. So this is 1 group. So I'll show you how I do this. And today, at the end, we're going to stop a little early, and we have 4 more cleaning days left. So each person is going to have a chance to clean your brushes. Okay? I'm going to show you what that looks like. We have plenty of time. No stress today. Today is your day to familiarize yourself with the paint, how to get the paint on the wall. Next week, of course, will be more critical, and you'll be in the groove and feel more comfortable. And as we progress through the mural each week, I will keep mixing your colors. And once I pull off the rags off the colors, you'll see these beautiful colors, and you'll be like, awesome, I can't wait to start painting. The paint is really, it's going to lend itself to success. Like, this is not like a struggle. You're struggling, what should you do? Ask me to be like, what's going on? Why isn't the paint working? Why is it, what's going on with this? It's supposed to be easier than this. Supposed to be easier. So you guys do have to share the jack squid can, okay? And if you don't finish it, because this stuff is pretty expensive, if you don't finish it, that's why I got a lid, so we'll preserve the cream, and we'll just keep going. It's kind of like, it's like $50. So what I do, I notice each group has 1 brush for the cream. So you can just like pass it around the wall and you're like, hey, give me the cream. Okay, cool. I'm like, hey, start to paint the shape. Your goal is to not drip. That's your goal. Try not to drip, but notice we have drop cloths down now. Every group has their same setup, a scaffolding, a bench. The Noodle World group, that bench extends. So if you need to go higher, you can do that and the legs come out of that a little bit. So what I'm going to do, we're going to use half of this Jack's cream. I'll put it in here. You can always get more. If you run out, let me know. I'll make more for you. Oh, and I should probably say, don't put your fingers in your mouth. Because this stuff is it's toxic. It's toxic. It's not good for you. And it looks like
What a shame we all remain such fragile, broken
called Swiss cream. So there's Swiss cream and there's Jack's cream. And that's it. There's only 2 manufacturers that make it. And there's no like, they're kind of different. So there's no perfect like, there's no textbook that's like, oh, it's this many parts for this many parts. It depends on how cold it is outside. So it's just kind of like, you just know based on experience. So it's kind of weird. And I'm really excited. Like, I really thank you guys for being part of this class because this is kind of a dying art. Like, not a lot of people use this kind of paint anymore. And it's kind of like from the class. It's like traditional design. This is kind of like going to be our home base every time. This will be our home base. Remember, safety first. Safety first. A lot of times you're going to see something, and the first thing you want to do is you want to step back. See what it looks like. You keep doing that. You paint, you step back. Paint, you step back. That's why this is like a perfect starter mural because it's small enough of a wall where you can do that. If you're like on a giant stage, 30 feet off the ground, you don't have that luxury because it's going to take you 15 minutes to come down and go back up every time. And you do that 4 times in an hour, I guess you really haven't done anything in an hour. Oh, what do? I take my rag, I dip it in the thinner, squeeze it out. Thank goodness. And then don't rub it because it takes off a little bit of the acrylic. I can see that, right? You just blot it and you're okay. All right? But try to stay inside the shapes so we don't have to go into the background. Because the background's a gradient, and gradients are hard to like catch up. Because it's like, oh, now I have to do this weird mini blend, and it's like it's hard, it's kind of hard. And then I'm not using this anymore, so maybe I'm just not using it for like a second. Maybe I have to take a break. If I'm going to take a break, just wrap it in the bag. Put it in the bag, wrap it up. Put it on the side, okay? Please, my only request, don't let these fly away because bags are really bad for the environment. I'm just happy that we're reusing. Reduce, reuse, recycle, right? If I'm totally done with the brush, I would just drop it in this can and leave it. I just drop it. And then towards the end of class. How are you? Okay. So one of the reasons why the concept of the map group is so powerful is it's a way to preserve because it monumentalizes, it memorializes all these landmarks that are so specific, right? It's like, you know, it really makes that connection.
All of these wonderful people.
Oh yeah, they know about the, and and David and Maura is the designer that I had in mind for your stained glass project. So now you guys, so boom, you're connected, and now you guys can coordinate, and I'm out of the loop.
Okay, yeah, that's all I wanted, David.
Perfect.
You're out. He's the best. I'll use you for other things, but as long as we know each other now.
Well, Maura, they're unifying and cohesive, and it took it to that because we needed that based on the time frame that we had.
Yeah, it's a short time frame.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's a.
I mean, they're only on the wall for 5 weeks. The class is 15 weeks, and the first 10 weeks was introduction to different murals, kind of a history of public art, and researching of the Westchester, the history of Westchester.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to pack in 15 weeks.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's a lot of work, and now I'm like, it is about the technical process. So I was showing them what it takes to mix the jack print. Like, what is that all about? The whole systems of like keeping organized and being efficient and getting the paint on the wall and keeping care of your brushes and all the nuances, right? Because you take it for granted if everything is there for you and all you have to do is just plug in.
Materials differently when you know what you have to do.
Exactly. And keeping organized is the key to keeping the mural, the final product, successful. Because if you're not organized and your brushes get mixed up, then colors start to get mixed up. And then accidents happen and you know what I mean? And like I was saying, like, this isn't the place to experiment. That's what you do in the studio. This is the place to execute and produce. Especially because you have weather and you have time and you're on the street and it's hard on the body.